What's up guys, Bluddshed here doing a leveling method video for you guys for season 23 patch 270. I wasn't planning on doing this season around, but I get so many requests on stream, I just feel like I should help the community out. Nothing is really new this season, it's just I guess the order in which I do it and why I do it. Maybe we'll shed some light on everything. Pretty soon a graphic will show up on screen. I will have a link to that in the description and it'll be on my website bloodshed.com. We just finished all of our builds, updated about 60 builds for every single class for pushing, bounty farming. You just hover over whatever class you need and it's all there for you. You can see Rothma's coming soon. I'm waiting for that patch, hopefully today. One last thing, if you could leave a like on the video as it helps the channel out tremendously, I would really appreciate that. So this leveling method is called the Pox Faulds leveling method. Now Blood, why the hell are we talking about Pox Faulds, man? Last week on stream I did tons and tons of level testing, and one thing that I noticed was it was really only annoying the first 15 to 20 levels or so. Actually after that you get all your spells and abilities and you're able to massacre freely. Obviously this method is mostly for solo, but yeah, it really opens up after level 20 and you don't really need the help anymore. And then eventually you get your level 70 weapon with reduced level requirement and it just kind of go into coast mode. So I was like, how can we boost our 1 to 15, 1 to 20 leveling faster and get over this little early game hump when we don't have any abilities or multipliers? Even if you do get a weapon multiplier, a lot of times you don't even get that spell even until your 20s. Now I do have starter builds on almost every single class and those are all still relevant and the tried and true methods of doing it. So definitely refer to those videos if you want something classic and consistent. This is just what I'm doing to level and people always want to know, yo Blood, what are you doing though? All right, so as you can see, we're gonna make our character and then we're going to equip our cosmetics and grab our follower weapon. It's really important as the follower weapon's like way stronger than our starter weapon. You're gonna go complete the challenge rift for the season. Hopefully you haven't done it. You know, disclaimer, don't do your challenge rift till after the season's active. And then I'm gonna log into normal difficulty, open your challenge rift cache and roll for Pox Faulds. And then if you're on hardcore, go ahead and throw them in the bank. Because if you die, you don't want to lose them until you can put them in the cube or wear them. If you want to spend any other shards for whatever class you're playing, whether it's Barb Bracers, Crusader Shields, by all means, go for it. And immediately what we're going to do is we're going to head over to Act 3, Ruins of Sescheron, and we're going to run and get the cube. You'll notice I don't have a follower with me because even a bare-fisted Templar can actually kill things and get you to level. And my goal right now is to not level. I know it's a new season and it might be confusing, but we want to run to the cube because the scaling from levels 1 to 3, 1 to 5 is incredible. You're basically a demigod, right? And I'm going to be playing on hardcore, so this is the easiest time to do it. And then if you die, right, there's no harm, no foul because you're level 1. So you only kill things that are kind of blocking your way, and then you just head over and try to find the cube without leveling. I'm just going to stand here so you can see how the scaling works. At level 1, like normally you can't, I'm just completely naked, right, with the follower weapon. You can see how hard it is to even die just standing here. It's just because of the way that the mob's health and damage is calculated. Then you still have your potion. I would just break the door. So it made it, normally I don't like to go to the cube early because it can be savage out here, and then I usually do massacres here, but it actually will slow you down in the long run because every time you level, you get 1 ding. The monsters get considerably stronger, more health, more damage. But if you can suppress their power, it makes this whole experience that much more enjoyable. And I was averaging 1 level per minute anyway running there with the Templar. So you could run with the follower or not. But I'm probably just gonna go solo just when I get the cube here. When you get the cube, you come back to town. What you can do from here is do your weapon upgrade also and then decide what you want to cube. Like if your weapon is really good and you want to put that in Kanai's cube and use that for leveling, by all means go for that. If you want to use a different bracer or belt or whatever item to cube, you can obviously do that. Me, I'm just going to go with Pox Faulds as it puts a dot on the enemy and it's easier for me to massacre bonus, which brings us to the Pox leveling method, right? Every class can actually get Pox Faulds. Level 1 Demon Hunter, level 1 Barb, Wizard, only option available, Witch Doctor, Monk, Satyr, and Necro. So if you were to get a legendary, it's not guaranteed, but if you were to get one, the only possible outcome would be the Pox Faulds. And again, it's a 550 damage, weapon damage dot that poisons enemies. So it really just makes your damage out of control from that 1 to 15 range. And you don't even lose too much time by doing it. So I'm gonna cube the Pox Fauld and I'm gonna immediately go to Act 2, Temple of the Firstborn and run Massacre bonuses. This place has a really high chance to get a cursed chest, and these little scarabs that spawn really boost the amount of kills you get from massacres themselves. So it's pretty great overall. You can see that the Pox Faulds just killing everything. Obviously, I'm not using any Paragon or anything like that. I'm not trying to trick anybody. It just shows you, we're at level 15 right here. It just shows you how strong it is, just in general, right? And then you could bump it up, you can feel it out for yourself. There's the Pox Faulds, just one tapping everything. Really incredible. I've used this in the past, but not to this degree. So here's the cursed chest. There's about a 50% chance you'll get that cursed chest. Obviously, you can attack to keep up your massacres. I was just kind of demonstrating the Pox Fault damage here and how effective it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You keep your massacre chain going, try to get as high as you can. Certain classes are better than others. Wizard kind of sucks at massacres until you get like Hydra or you get Electrocute. Electrocute like has this instant target, and it's great for keeping up the bonus, where sometimes there's a build-up time for Ice Beam. But definitely every class has one, like Crusader even has a range attack, Barb has weapon throw. So definitely just use whatever range attack and dot you can use to be able to chain all these mobs together for those juicy XP multipliers. Now again, if you're playing in a group setting, just run rifts. You guys already have a boosted XP gain by playing together, where as solo players don't get that. So this is why I guess I'm going out of my way to do all this right here. And one thing to note, every 50 kills, you get more XP. So I'm at 95. If I would have got to 100, it would have went to the next tier multiplier for massacres. So if you notice that you're almost to that next 50 chunk, right? Multiples of 50. If you're like 150, 200, 250, try to push it just a little bit longer to get that extra XP buff. So I just do this zone over and over and over, reset, leave game, go back and run this over and over. If you get crazy and it gets too boring, you can mix in some rifts there. Or you can go to other places, like you can go to Act 1, Halls of Agony if you like, or whatever, but I'm pretty much just gonna run Temple of the Firstborn the whole way. At level 7, you can buy rings at fence vendors in every single act. At level 10, amulets become available as well. Remember, they changed the follower system, so give them items and they get a nice cheat death. Cormac the Templar gets a nice cheat death at level 20, which is great for hardcore. It gives you a 5-second immunity. At level 70, remember you're gonna craft your level 70 weapon with reduced level requirement. Because we have the Challenger of Cash, we're able to open up our blacksmith to the max level. You can craft a level 70 yellow weapon, whichever one you desire. You wanna look with one with crowd control as a secondary, because we're gonna leave it on and we're gonna roll off the other affix. This one doesn't have any crowd control. This one doesn't have any crowd control. You can see the secondary effect, freeze on hit, so that's the one we're gonna use. You can make a bunch of them and roll each weapon around 5 times. So you take off the XP and we get level requirement reduced by 2 to 30. You can get up to 30. If you do your weapon upgrade also and it rolls ancient, it can get up to -40 reduced level requirement, and then you can use it even earlier. You can see if you were to take off freeze on hit, there's a bunch of options here. But if you just take off monster XP, you have a pretty high chance to get reduced level requirement. And again, you're gonna run out of gold before anything because the gold price just ramps up. I'd probably do it 3 or 4 times and try to get it. Since I didn't get anything, I'm gonna stop here because I'm not trying to ruin my seasonal RNG, but you get how it works. We've been doing this for a long time here. Maybe I am a little superstitious. Some other tips: red gems in the helmet. Red gems give you XP. Red gems in the weapon. Red gems in your weapon give you average damage, which is gonna be more DPS overall since you don't have crit and crit damage early on. Make sure to stay up on your weapons, check the blacksmith often, and buy vendor gear, even from level 1 at any point. Since you have so much gold, just head over when you're walking by, maybe check the vendor gear. Maybe when you buy your jewelry, you can see that this is a nice upgrade for me right here. I got from the vendor, and then boom, nice little upgrade. You can check the yellows, there's another upgrade. It's just really cheap to do it this way. And you can even get a source early on before you can even craft sources and so forth. Remember, we got like 5 million gold, so a couple thousand here and there is not that big a deal. And adjust the difficulty, final thing. So if it's too easy, bump it up, especially on softcore, definitely. Once you get your Pox Faulds, you're gonna be one-tapping everything. On hardcore, make sure you have your cheat death, or your level 20, you have the followers cheat death. That way you have some kind of get out of jail free card in case you do get caught and clapped up. We don't want you to have a rough season start. Even if you don't go for Pox Faulds and you just go for whatever item I recommend, you can still run and get your cube at level 1, as it's way easier and something I never even realized before. Normally I get the cube once I get like a movement ability, But since Ruins of Sescheron is kind of a savage place, I feel like it's just much more enjoyable to go get it at level 1. And if you're in a group, again, you can just draw straws and send somebody to run and get it while you guys do rifts, and then everybody port on that person, right? This is just mostly, I guess, for solo since I play solo. That's it. If you want to support the channel further, you can go to Patreon. I have all kinds of social media links in the description. I'll be streaming all season long, doing Let's Plays, twitch.tv/Bluddshed. I have a website like we talked about earlier with all my builds. Anything that I run on it is there, bloodshed.com. You can find all my stuff. That's going to be all for me today. Hopefully we get the patch today. That way I can actually bring out the Necro starter build and the Rothma build, the Firebird build pretty soon. This is Bloodshed, and I'm out of here. Peace.